Hello and welcome to your reading. Please bear in mind a couple of things. This intro may be a tidbit longer because, well, I have a lot of grounds to cover as to what to also expect from my channel. This is the 𝗭𝗵𝗔𝗽𝗽 channel that I will focus on different topics than your typical standard divine feminine, divine collective, divine masculine, and true soulmate readings that I offer on my other channel, which is 𝗭𝗲𝗹𝗹𝗲x. So feel free to check out that channel if you haven't done so already. Somewhere, the connection should be somewhere in the description box below. With that being said, I'm dedicating this channel to other streams because the videos may get lost, and I'm doing my best to not overwhelm the feed of my playlists and my overall video content. So I'm hoping that dividing them and attributing different ideas that I'd like to really get out to the public will be enjoyed by the public. With that being said, please consider subscribing to my channel to help it get the grounds up and running, and maybe consider subscribing to both of my channels if you haven't done so already. I am in complete honor of this continued support in regards to you wanting to listen out to the messages, and I hope that the discernment and judgment on your end leads you to fulfill and perpetuate good karma instead of bad karma, and listening on to these messages that I provide for you intuitively. Going on with this type of reading style specifically, this is the Q series that I will begin to offer at a pace hopefully generated with the way to my liking, and hopefully also with a crowd that enjoys it just the same or finds whatever concepts or subject matters that I'm intuitively picking on or talking about. This kind of accrue different perspectives and hopefully find some sort of resonancy between myself and you, the viewer. Q series is going to be a more politically, I want to say, derived reading. Now, this is not supposed to mean actual politicals, like politics of Republican liberalism, or even liberal or conservative. It is more just different topics, and like I said, your mundane feminine and masculine energies. So just pay mind that you may get more triggered, and to definitely then use your own discernment to take, of course, the messages that resonate with you, and just to leave the rest behind that just don't resonate with you. Feminine and masculine energy, with that being said, are non-gender specific, so please bear in mind that you can be female and or male-bodied and resonate with feminine and masculine energies that come out throughout the reading. And more importantly, any topic that gets spoken about in a reading can resonate on past, present, and future energies in a place where in collective energy of matter, time and space does not exist. We're just living in a multifaceted, dimensional reality of things. So with that being said, bear in mind, I may trigger, or it may become triggered, topics of conspiracy theories that are related if you're familiar to the Great Awakening map. If not, you may accrue with time that I am someone who is privy of the map and decided to understand that it does come with flaws and to fix it in my way. So I hope that the journey unfolds in a way that it allows itself for me to utilize my crafts of how I changed the game of tarot, changed the game of not only of looking at the map and studying it and finding its flaws, and trying to again find up with a solution that just makes sense for modern era. So with that being said, I offer a intuitive insight using my brand new rendition of tarot sequence deck over on my Patreon page. Description can be found in the box below. All right, hopefully that wasn't, it's pretty long. So I'll do my best to timestamp this, of course, and moving forward, but I am a lady that's on the move, and it kind of gets a little bit harder to focus on the details with the lack of certain tools that I have at my expense. So either way, I hope that ultimately the point is clear, that I just want to share the message, and ultimately hope that if there's someone that resonates with me, that they're like, yeah, I fucks with it, or yeah, I don't fucks with it, but you're nosy enough to kind of figure out what the fuck I'm doing, right? Or what the hell's going on out there. Whatever it is that brings you here, I welcome you. All right. Q series. What is Q? Q is a phenomenon, I believe. And then the words, banana, dun dun dun, manamana, dun dun banana, manamana. How's that for your first reading? The first introduction for this type of reading. Dun dun dun, manamana, dun dun dun. But anyway, I think that adds to the comical side of what I feel when I tap into Q energy. That is just, it became a cult that I have absolutely no knowledge of. So don't throw any specifics at me besides possible curiosities that I can expand in utilizing my intuition that I love to play with. And ultimately, Q is a representation of what the fuck is it? Is it a person? Is it real? Was it real? Is it even something to consider? Is every information that the conspiracy of Q entails right or even plausibly true, and all that jazz? It is a fascinating, an absolutely fascinating energy to tap into for many more reasons for myself that I will not disclose at this time. However, what I can ultimately see is that it triggered a lot of people in the time of the pandemic, because it was the one huge siren, consider it like the oracle over the capsule, what it means to be under this globe of a pandemic. Look at this two of, I hope you can see the globe card, the globe on this two of wands here. Like this overall oracle of like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, COVID is telling you to go the fuck home, and then everyone's at home trying to figure out what to do. You know, what does it mean? Do I even have a home to go to? Oh, I'm very well aware of what happened in 2020. I feel like I can't. Never mind. All right, fuck it. I was gonna say I was gonna say to have PTSD is something that is like, well, considering we're about to change the clock to 2023, and it was almost 3 years ago, what did I say? Whatever. 3 years ago, 3 years ago, that all this shit happened, right? And if you dive into the conspiracy theories, you're like, nah, man, it did not happen in 2020, it happened in 2019. I mean, COVID-19, ladies and gentlemen, 2020, I mean, it just don't make sense. It just don't make sense. It doesn't make sense in the way you understand that when politics wants to come in and throw comedy to deliver the message of what is known or unknown, they use funny words to get you interested of the story, you know? And yeah, well, shit is interesting to the story. Oh, God. All right, let's talk about the cards that came out so far. We have the Eight of Cups here. Let me see. Can you see? Oh, yeah, you can see. Nice. Okay, we have Eight of Cups here, followed by the Two of Wands, followed by the Death card. All right, what? No joke, all right? So like I said, there's a lot of involvement having to do with understanding what Q is or what Q wants you to feel or what the fuck is up with all the information that, you know, I have no choice but to be like, all right, I'm going to keep them there where they are and pretend like I didn't just come across that information. Good luck is what the Q energy is saying. good luck, because the information is going to be unavoidable to use, to not have to be faced to look at and be like, all right, what intuition game am I going to play with myself to understand? And then even when you think you're right, the death card says, you thought you were right, but cue conspiracies and all the details of the nitty-gritty rabbit holes that it has to offer, it says, we're going to put you in caterpillars of here comes the dust, and another one bites the dust, and you're going to learn what it means to reawaken, rebirth, and what it means to have a lifetime, and be like, holy shit, I just died. And it's consciousness death, ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between and beyond. It's a consciousness journey as to which everyone is on. And I think also the message, well, I know as far as delivering the message here, whether you resonate or not, that's not my opinion, and that's also not my goal. And that's not the point of the message. You can't shoot the messenger, as they say, right? You're not supposed to, but a lot of people want to at this time. A lot of people can't turn the Eight of Cups here. You can't face your emotions at the time. You rather want to walk away from a situation because it just doesn't appeal to you. Something is either triggering you or already has triggered you to the point of, well, Q ultimately got you to challenge the concept of what are you going to face? Because the majority of you will either be like, nope, I'm going to pretend like I didn't see that. And some of you will be like, I can't unsee it. What the fuck are you talking about? I have to move from one place to another. And that journey is having to pull and push with your intuition that you're looking at the ultimate connection, because whatever happened, whatever journey you're on, ultimately we're all in the capsule that didn't, if you had the news in your hands as far as seeing the smartphone or whatever phone of telecommunications you have, or those people who have loud mouths and can't stop running their mouth with the Eight of Cups energy as far as like saying, this is my misery, please come and help me. You most likely got the information here in regards to what the fuck happened on a global aspect when it came to the pandemic, or the world pandemic, COVID-19, COVID 2020, whatever it is that you believe in, Rona, whatever, right? And that's just the funny part of about now allowing a certain time to unfold, because certain comedians are like, when is the time I can finally talk about it? For one aspect, if I put always a comedic twist about it, there's also a healing mechanism for me. While at the same time, those comedians have the most issues at this time because they're coming up short with quote unquote hashtag fact checking the things that they actually believe in, because the part of the things that makes them have such an appeal to being great comedians are coming off comedic as this time, is kind of bypassing a situation and admitting at face value with no degree of acceptance that I can't address the things that I need addressing at this time, so it's better that I make a joke out of it, because at least it allows people to kind of get a glimpse of what it is that I'm thinking or inquisitive about or worrying about and all that jazz, and seeing if people are of the limelight. And if people are in the limelight, then I can be like, all right, this is what I want to show up to and address. This is what I don't want to talk about. Kind of like building some sort of your own personal timeline on how to address a situation. And Q series and energy says, and Q energy says, no. It's not about your time. It's about collective time and collective the universe saying and putting you in check. The intuition game can only be of one caliber of universal thought and vibration. How it gets individually expressed is what makes you individually unique for sharing the same vibration of which we all share. But what is ultimately shared by one cannot be dissected and then claimed as two, when two came from the one, right? You have the Four of Cups here. Yeah, being very dismissive at this time in handling your own emotions, because they're not certain, but with certainty, there are so many things that you're being triggered with, whether the people that are coming into your life and saying, nah, man, I got the facts. Nah, man, I got the facts. No. I got the fact. No, I got the facts. No, it's me that's got the facts. No, I'm the one. Like all this shit over here of like, I'm the god, I'm the goddess, and then I'm the over here and be like, yeah, Sheree, your name is Seventh Goddess. Yes, I understand that, but if you have time and day and patience from a human level to have a conversation with me as to why my higher self is called that, we can talk about it. Till then, the name is Seventh or Seven. I honestly don't really fuck with the goddess of God appeal to any of the situation. If you personally knew me on a private level, you would definitely hear my roar about that. Just because of the sassiness that comes flying out of my mouth. It's just like, at this pace, I've learned from my lifetime how people are a mirror to me with this Two of Wands energy, saying, you know what, we're all under this energy of having to look at our intuition. Well, it's saying to me, well, you've had your experience now and having to develop your own intuition. Are we ever right? Is it about that? Just because I'm not right doesn't mean I'm wrong, though. See, the inquisition of the mind is just that, inquisition of the mind, and plays with contrasting energies, because it puts a versus between one thought and another, or a feeling of one verse between one feeling and another, like excitement versus anger, temperamental versus joy. And there's just too many verses to not understand that to matter between one another is to understand that we cannot get away from sharing energy from one person to another. We just can't. Whether you believe in telepathic communication or not is really irrelevant to understand what a symbolism like Q, for example, became. Such an ambiguous movement in living time of legacy that is just riveting the politics of what it means to think. And then when it says, oh, these are the facts, though, you're like, yeah, but these feelings, though. And the energy reads as, yeah, but fuck your feelings, too, though. Because you got to put death to those feelings. Those feelings have nothing to do with the with the cultural vibration of which we share. It's funny that the word cult come out, because ultimately I made a post about it not too long ago somewhere, IG somewhere, and about like questioning, or on my whatever, it's not coming out, at _ Seventh Goddess, where I put daily insights on Instagram, that I questioned what like cult is, because isn't everything then essentially a cult? You have all these little pockets, and even if they say I'm not a cult, they're yelling in a cult fashion, and then the people picking at them saying, well, you are a cult, is a cult too. I mean, I don't know, what is the definition, right? Everything kind of fulfills itself, but it doesn't really help us build intuition. If I'm looking up for the definition of any word nowadays, and however they think they can change things now, and use the same word in the very definition, I'm trying to see and learn what the fuck the word means. Blows my mind when you're looking up for a word. And I'm not talking about cult specifically right now, but it's part of that. It's part of the having to hack for your own information of what is legitimate or not. And what's legitimacy, it can only be described in the universe telling you have to follow your intuition. But if you think your intuition is based on the things that you emote, you're wrong. You're just wrong. It's just not that way. And if you study Reiki like I have, because, well, I have, you'll learn that it doesn't help you being emotional, all right? Emotions is what exactly you chase in order to heal yourself. And in it, the irony is that, oh my God, wow, you're such a compassionate person. You're so empathic. In one way or another, there's a great element of, I know when to not talk and speak when spoken to get things moving. because from the perspective from where I see it and playing with my intuition and the way the world is working for me or not, or working for you or not, there's certain elements of what needs to be said and what needs to not be said. So the action-orientated behavior becomes more on the precipice of having to be able to build off of anything or change anything, because that's the masculine energy. By the way, look at this shit. Just came flying out that I'm not taking. I'm not taking these cards, but I say masculine energy here, and the Emperor came out, the Magician and the Devil. And the reason why I'm not taking them is because I'm waiting. I have a certain structure for this reading, and I'm waiting for a specific card. So I want Sekhmet to make a decision on just one card. And the masculine energy is what I'm saying is the overall. See, overall, I get the energy that Q is non-binary, because we just don't understand yet what the energy or where it's coming from. What's the source of this information, right? That's apparently apparent, or maybe not apparent. Maybe someone says, I do. I do know. And wherever we are on this journey to unfold such an interesting energy for me to look at and to experience, I find it compelling to understand what feminine and masculine energy is. Feminine energy, yes, does work, but does work only in the form of surrendering. And you understand that more so if you study, again, feminine and masculine energy, and not have to worry so much of what body it belongs to, okay? The body is the cherishing, is the experience, is the gift, all right? The feminine and masculine energy is just a pole of what you can't get away with here. Look at that, the Two of Pentacles here. The feminine, masculine energy, jugular between the two. Jugular. That's funny. I still need this. Yeah, we're going to keep this here for a moment. So we have, again, the two here. With two and two, making decisions, all right? We have... the feeling that I'm getting of like you're going to be pulled from one end to the other is not just because of the Death card here, because I'm also here now seeing all this I would say feminine energy of this these even cards, because we have Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, and the Four of Cups here. Very feminine energy here. There's a really nice balance of feminine and masculine energy here, because the overall message is masculine, as kind of like was pushed through with them Devil card, masculine, Emperor, and what was it, the Magician card. So behind it are like really strong messages of what the energy of the overall capsule is behind the Death. Like almost, why is the Death coming through? Because the masculine energy needs to be tested at this time to humble itself on what to bring as far as temperamental energies goes at addressing certain topics, certain conspiracy topics, certain emotions of the undwellings of themselves and the dwellings of themselves, and figure out what works, what doesn't, how the divine works for yourself, and how to make your choices based on that. I'm going to be pulling a card right now for the overall major arcana message. Some of you are judging the information that you're getting with information that won't make sense to collective consciousness. The facts that you're understanding about collective consciousness have nothing to do with building, again, your intuition and learning how to make choices, and how choices ultimately pave the path of which it is you're walking. Whether it is you understand that message or not, we'll still begin this reading with the Eight of Cups here, which is a movement energy. Some of you are either moving in speaking the truth and wanting to gain more passion towards what you believe in and what it is that you uncovered, and go by that. But others are in complete denial, as I already have mentioned. The ultimate goal of the Death card here is to show you to not compare apples and oranges. And also not even to look at it as that they're fucking fruit. It is about completely changing the game. And the only way you can change the game is by allowing information to come in and completely fuck you over so that you are humbled what it means to make choices. Because there are certain choices that you've always made where you are now left with the environment that you are in and are still somewhat unsatisfied because of something that is just gnawing at you. Here, fucking energy here. Look at this. Fascinating. The Emperor came out again. The Emperor masculine energy here, the overall major arcana message. Proving my point exactly. All right. What is there left to say besides that? Be careful in the Emperor energy of running yourself exhausted. And running yourself exhausted is also meaning that you're running your course of a life in a way that you're down the line going to regret having built the life that you've created, because you're completely bypassing yourself. Overall minor arcana message. The Knight of Swords. Yeah, like I said, be careful in expression, because the Knight of Swords energy is very potent, and making sure that they are at least in charge for the avenue that they're going down in, all right? It is fascinating energy because it comes in and speaks that justice, all right? That justice that we very much need in order to protect ourselves, to build this central energy pretty much here. That is ultimately saying build your intuition and build the concept of your intuition, knowing whatever contrasting dualities you have and learning how to center them by walking the center path, and understanding that to overcome those emotions is kind of like understanding you are on that ship back here. It goes up and down the waves of oceans of emotions and all around the world here, all around the world. This goes at the girls all around the world. And just ultimately taking this path of illusions and delusions, and you're faced with having to experience what death while living is. 3 cards is what I wanted. 3 cards is what shall be here. So we're starting to close out the reading. We have the Sun card, Queen of Cups, and the 3 of Wands. Fascinating trajectory for this energy, the ultimate message of what I believe and to know based on this intuitive energy, that to play with the game of intuition is to always be able to build on the intuition here, because we have the 3 of Wands here. We always get to build and learn with the experience of what death is by honoring the journey of what gets rebirth. The Sun is a beautiful message for you to remember here, ultimately on the end of listening out to this message, that the good things will always prosper more so than the bad things, because the bad things are never to be looked at the lens that things happen to you, but they happen for you to experience, as difficult as they may be, because the Queen of Cups is very gentle and she is very empathic and compassionate to the understandings of life and wanting to experience it with all the senses that she bestows for herself. This is feminine and masculine energy included. So ultimately that challenge to understand that feminine energy is a duality of masculine energy is an expression, and that is to, again, wave the honor of knowing the importance of the overall message, especially here, what feminine and masculine energy has to offer, and speaking its justice in the case of that. All right, that seems like that's it. That's all I have for you for this moment in time. Please know that these are timeless messages, so whenever you're here is whenever you may feel that these messages may resonate for you, and I am looking for support at this time. So one of the ways that you can support me is a simple way is just to subscribe to my video, or check out the description. Subscribe to my channel. Or check out the information in the description box below. All right, take care. I'm wishing you a wonderful one. May you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.